दुसरा कॉल आला. मी रेकॉर्डिंग करतोय
Oh, sure.
आणि म्हणजे
I
व्हिडिओ
will,
रेकॉर्डिंग.
I'll check with Abhijit Khadilkar if she
हां,
can join.
अभिजित खाडीलकर, अभिजित मराठे तर नाही म्हणालाय. अभिजित
बरं,
खाडीलकर
ठीक
येतो
आहे.
का बघ, मग आपण चालू करू. ओके. सो नमस्कार. थँक यू व्हेरी मच. आपली जी 4 मेची मीटिंग झाली ती खूपच सुंदर झाली. लोकांकडे उत्साही आहे आणि म्हणजे आपण 7 डिसेंबरची मीटिंग तशीच झाली होती, पण त्याच्यानंतर आपण पुढे काही करू नाही शकलो फॉर व्हॉटएव्हर मे बी द रिझन. सो आत्ता असा विचार आहे की आपली काहीतरी कोर टीम बनवून की बे एरिया, ईस्ट बे आणि ईस्ट बे, बे एरिया, सेंट्रल व्हॅली मिळून आपण एक मोठं पॉवर सेंटर जर करता आलं तर दॅट विल बी सॉर्ट ऑफ एक्झाम्पल फॉर अदर्स ऑल्सो. सो 2 ठिकाणी करायचा विचार आहे. एक पुणे मुंबई करून एक करायचं. पुणे मुंबईचं काम चांगलं चालू आहे आणि इथे बे एरिया ही एक कंट्रोलिंग म्हणजे काय म्हणतात ते एक्झाम्पल, लीड बाय एक्झाम्पल असं बे एरियात करायचं. तिथे म्हणजे मी किंवा डॉक्टर संजय भंडारी असे जे आम्ही किंवा अनिता कांत जे बोर्डावरती आहोत, ते इन्व्हॉल्व नाही व्हावं अशी माझी इच्छा आहे. पण दुसऱ्या कोणीतरी त्याला टेक ओव्हर करावं. त्यासाठी आपल्याकडे मी अभिजित अभिजित एका नावानं कळत नाही. ठोसरना सांगितलं होतं की बाबा तुम्ही हे स्ट्रक्चर करून द्या सो दॅट हाऊ वी गो फ्रॉम कॉर्पोरेट लेव्हल टू फ्रॉम मंडळ माइंडसेटपेक्षा आपण कॉर्पोरेट लेव्हलला कसे जाऊ शकू. आणि जसं गर्जे मराठीत पोझिशन आहे त्याचप्रमाणे वी विल हॅव द पोझिशन्स by those who want to take responsibilities, and those need not be tenured position. As long as you want to do it, you continue to do it. The time when you feel ki you are tired or you are don't have bandwidth, दुसऱ्या सगळ्यांनी घ्यायचं. सो मी तिन्ही अभिजित ऍक्च्युली, पण अभिजित ठोसरला इन पर्टिक्युलर सांगितलं होतं की आपल्याला स्ट्रक्चर बनवून दे की त्याप्रमाणे आपल्याला पुढे जाता येईल. गेल्या काही दिवसांमध्ये जे डिस्कशन्स काही चालली होती की आपल्याला जर आपलं नॉलेज सेंटर सारखं जर बनवायचं असेल तर yesterday I went to लॉस अल्टोस लायब्ररी. $25 दर शुक्रवारी संध्याकाळी आपण 4 तास बुक करू शकतो त्यांच्याकडे, की तिथे आपण जर निरनिराळी जर लेक्चर्स जर अरेंज करू शकलो किंवा निरनिराळी वर्कशॉप्स किंवा जे ट्रेनिंग करायचे. आधी माझ्या डोक्यात चाललं होतं की आपण एक अकॅडमी बनवायची की ज्याच्यासाठी म्हणजे ऍक्च्युली ऑफिशियल त्याला स्टेटस आणून करायचं की वी कॅन ऍक्च्युली इश्यू सर्टिफिकेट. पण when I spoke with many of us, तेव्हा त्यांनी सांगितलं की दॅट इज लॉट ऑफ हॅसल. लेट अस स्टार्ट विथ ॲज इफ इट इज कोर्सेराचे वगैरे कसं ते स्वतः सर्टिफिकेट देतात. त्याला काही US डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ एज्युकेशन त्याला एन्डॉर्स करत नाही. तसे जर आपण काही कोर्सेस जर करू शकलो तर लोकांना आपण कंटिन्युअसली व्हॅल्यू देऊ शकू. आणि त्यासाठी कदाचित आपल्याला लॉस अल्टोसचा जो व्हेन्यू आहे तो व्हेन्यू, इट इज व्हेरी चीप व्हेन्यू. आय एम विथ एव्हरीबडीज परमिशन अँड आफ्टरवर्ड्स बोर्डाची पण मीटिंग आहे, त्यांना पण मी विचारणार आहे. लेट मी बुक इट फॉर नेक्स्ट 1 year. $25 इज नॉट समथिंग व्हेरी एक्सपेन्सिव्ह. आणि तिथे आपल्याला भेटता येईल, तिथे आपल्याला रेकॉर्डिंग करता येईल, तिथे आपल्याला वर्कशॉप्स करता येतील. आत्ता आपल्याकडे लोकांची पाहण्याचा दृष्टिकोन खूप खूप म्हणजे खूप चांगला आहे. सो त्याचा ऍडव्हान्टेज घेऊन गर्जे मराठीची बे एरिया, ईस्ट बे, बे एरिया आणि सेंट्रल बॅच मिळून कशी टीम बनवता येईल ह्यासाठी आज आपण आलेलो आहोत. सो दिस इज माय माइंड विच आय हॅव डिस्कस्ड. त्याच्यानंतर ज्या कोणाला इनपुट द्यायचे असतील त्या इनपुट प्रमाणे आपण ऍक्शन ठरवूया. वी हॅव ओनली 20-25 मिनिट्स इन दिस मीटिंग. सो त्याच्यानंतर आपण पुढे जाऊ. एव्हरीबडी इज बिझी. सो अभिजित ठोसर किंवा संजय भंडारी, कॅन यू प्लीज टेक ओव्हर ॲट दिस पॉइंट?
Go ahead, Abhijit.
चाल मी बोलतो आनंद and then everyone should kind of jump in here. No, good thought. So Anand, I want to go back to what you said at the very beginning, right? To me म्हणालात की yeah, we want to create these kind of centers of gravity, if you will, right? For say Bay Area, Mumbai, Pune, and maybe there are a few other places globally, right? I don't know how big London is or Tokyo is or Singapore is. That's fine. I think we definitely need to localize because लोकांचे issues, drives, concerns, needs, aspirations, opportunities are different in different regions, right? आणि आपल्याकडे बघितलं तर we have a certain type of a concentration, right? High tech म्हणा, software म्हणा. So we have a slightly different angle to it. आणि मी जेव्हा ट्रॅव्हल करतो, माय जनरल परसेप्शन based on the way people, when they first hear about Garje Marathi, or when they say that, oh, I've heard about it, are you fully involved? तू खूप काम करतोस का गर्जे मराठीसाठी वगैरे. In general, the perception people have is that this is a very Bay Area centric, very technology centric body, right? And although I work in tech, I that's a wrong perception that we might have created, because obviously people in the valley have been very active. Obviously, you are here, Anand. Many of us are here. So people have that, we started, you started. People have that perception that it's a very, oh, it's for people who are in the tech industry, right? Which we need to figure out how we can, address that kind of a perception that this might have created. So that's number one. Second thing is, I think we need to, we like I said, localizing, right? We need to localize, and not each chapter should really focus on what are the three or two or three key things that they want to do in those regions, instead of trying to spread too thin in different areas, right? So if all three of us will, and then of course everyone on this call, we will kind of identify what are the two three things. I'm going to give an example of what I observed in last couple of months through my interactions. And these examples are not from Garze Marathi. These examples are not from Indian community. These examples are from other communities that I have been part of. For example, this week I was invited to speak at a panel in San Francisco. These are all people from Ukraine, Poland, and East Europe, right? And I know quite a few of them through my network, and their focus is completely on VC founders and startups, right? Uh, and that's one thing. Second thing that they have done is they have opened up that community to engage with other Silicon Valley people, right, who are not from that region of the world, right? So they are not from, so for example, now they have networked me. They bring in people like me. There are people, so many people. In fact, I invited Uma because she wanted to meet some of the designer founders, right? So I met bunch of people who Uma, and I met people who founded WhatsApp, right? These are Ukrainian people, right? The founding designer Anton is now his very good friend, lives in Los Altos. We need to figure out how we can blend into the local communities as Garze Marathi group, right? So not just for our own people, but I think that is where we should start think about what are the two, three relevant topics that are the most important on top of people's mind. It could be jobs, it could be funding, it could be startup, it could be AI, it could be software, whatever that is, right? Uh, and then kind of think about how we can rally behind and just create that kind of a centers of excellence, if you will, right? The last point that I want to make is about that whole academic concept. I get what you're saying. It's a noble concept, but I'll tell you honestly, right? If I have to launch a course, I can launch a course on Maven that will give me more visibility, and I can create a code, special code for GMG, right? For GMG members. So that will be a better model, because to be honest, if I have to promote myself and create more visibility for myself, I would go beyond GMG. GMG is one of the primary beneficiaries of that, but because I live here, I don't want to restrict. And of course, that all of that content can be made freely available to people in Maharashtra and all of that. That's fine. We are, and we travel and all of that. So there are other, we give our give back in terms of time, money, and knowledge, right? So I think those are two, three things I want to start, and then I'll let everyone else kind of chime in. Love to hear from Sanjay and Neha and both
Yeah.
the Sanjays. We have two Sanjays. Nice.
Yeah, Sanjay Wadge, Sanjay Bandari. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Anybody else?
Yeah, so good points, Abhijit. One of the points that you mentioned in terms of visibility beyond Bay Area and beyond US in particular. So my thought, and I'm also going to share that on a relevant topic in another board meeting too, our board meeting later on, is that we have to leverage the MOUs that we have done with so many organizations in India, right? आपलं CUP भाऊ बरोबर आहे, पिंपरी चिंचवड आहे, कुठलंही इंजिनिअरिंग कॉलेज बऱ्याचशे VGT आहे. So what are we doing with that to leverage Garje Marathi? So far nothing, right? Other than MOU, I haven't heard anything that we have done, right? So let's start actually using them. I'm saying the word using, but leveraging them to get to the next level. And I separately kind of sent out the memo to the members, but even our startup cohorts, right? Every engineering college, most engineering colleges that I have visited or have spoken to in India, they have their incubation centers today. They are running their own startup thing and so on. Why don't we leverage? Why don't we hold hands with them and say, okay, your top 10% will take into our main cohort, so that we are not fishing with the same community, same type of people, same entrepreneurs who are just beginning, starting to get something. We raise our bar, we take it to higher level, and we can do that if we create a pyramid kind of structure where all these organizations, they recommend their top 10%, and we take that top 10% and take that to the next level. That gives Garje Marathi also more visibility, because it will be I'm always proud to say, okay, our organization has at this level or has reached certain revenue or certain milestone. We want to take to that level, right? It's not about numbers saying 150, okay, next year it's 200 companies we entered and so on. We have to say, okay, one of our company became unicorn, right? That will be the biggest thing. So we want to get to that. So 2-3 things on cohort. Again, that's the thought. Independent of cohort, same thought. Maybe Anandji has sent out this WhatsApp notification. So I did listen to Akash Patil, who many of you know, who was here in Bay Area, returned back to India and gave a speech there at some local event there. So think about that in so many places we have MOU, so many places we have access to giving those kind of lectures. And those people could be in person over there, it could be a Zoom lecture, whichever way. But okay, when I saw that on WhatsApp, it's probably 100 people attending that. I don't know if there were more, but there is opportunity to spread that ourselves into larger areas. That way the word goes that we are beyond Bay Area, we are beyond US, but the knowledge is coming from here. Akash actually studied here, did research here, and went back and is now sharing that. And I'm just taking his example, but many of us travel there. मी गेलो होतो तेव्हा तिथे औरंगाबादच्या इंजिनिअरिंग कॉलेजनं मला बोलवलं. So I gave a lecture over there. I spoke about Garje Marathi also over there. So the point is that we can now look at this bigger community and doing something specific beyond just the MOUs. Okay, so I have lots of thoughts, but I'll just
Yes.
leave time for others to express.
Correct. Yeah. That point is well taken. Yes, of course. We know that. We are not there. Anybody wants to do
त्यानुसार मी बोलतो, मला ड्रॉप ऑफ
Yeah.
टू व्हेरी वेल. हे संजयनी जे पॉईंट मेन्शन केले ना अभिजितनी, तेच थोडे एक्सटेंड माझ्या डोक्यात होते की आपण MOUs करतो, आपण ग्रुप्स. आता मागच्या रविवारची पण आपले हे जोरदार झाले, पण पुढे काय, व्हॉट इज दॅट वी आर डुईंग मेजरेबल. अँड आपलं अनेकदा बोलणं झालं त्यानुसार की वी शुड डू समथिंग टँजिबल विच वी मेजर अँड देन वी कॅन पब्लिश और रिपोर्ट ऑन बेसिकली. सो इट्स अ एक्सटेन्शन ऑफ द MOU की आपण त्याच्या पुढे काय केलं, मेजरेबल काय केलं असं मी म्हणेन. सो समथिंग मेजरेबल इज समथिंग. Whenever we take a task or activity, we should first define what is the metric for its success.
Absolutely.
आणि मग ती सक्सेसफुल झाली की नाही, विल मेजर ऑन दॅट. आणि पुढे करायची की नाही किंवा चेंज करायचं का, हा एक पॉईंट माझा आहे. दुसरा पॉईंट आहे की आपण गरजे मराठीचं कोर जे आहे की ॲज अ कम्युनिटी वी शुड ग्रो. नेटवर्किंग, एंटरप्रेन्योरशिपला फॉस्टर करणे, हे सगळे जे टेनंट झाले त्यातले यातला की पॉईंट जो आपण मागच्या वेळा पण बोललो होतो की 90% लोक हे चाकरमाने नोकरी करणार. महाराष्ट्रात घ्या, इथे घ्या, कुठेही घ्या, ही लोक अजून अफिलिएटेड नाही आहेत आपल्याशी. हा यू आर लिव्हिंग आउट 90% ऑफ द मास, क्रिटिकल मास, इधर इन बे एरिया, महाराष्ट्रात कुठेही म्हणा. मी ऐकलंय गरजे मराठी पुरतं जे व्हॉट अभिजित सेड, याच्या मागचा हे की नोकरी करणारा माणूस इज नॉट फिलिंग कनेक्टेड विथ गरजे मराठी. for a reason, people think it's more about VC आणि पैसे देवाणघेवाण आणि something like that. I believe we are far beyond that purpose. आणि त्या पर्पज करता आपल्याला we should go to these people who are not really or not wanting to be entrepreneurs, because entrepreneurship आणि धंदा प्रत्येकालाच करायचा असतो नसतो प्रश्न नाहीये, पण these are the very people who would help our 10% entrepreneurs. So for that matter, we should probably start getting or start lecture series of people who are higher up in the hierarchies in bigger companies. They can show what the trends are. They can show the inroads, what are the entrepreneurs. At the same time, they can also help the other people who want to network and move around in different companies. So bringing in people from variety of domains and higher up in the industries would make this network more solid, is what I see, from both for people who are working as well as who want to do business. So that is another point that I had to kind of.
Perfect.
Could I add some inputs?
Sanjay ji,
So regarding this MOUs, right? I mean, I raised this concern many times. Okay, I mean, if you, Anandji, if you remember, right? आता recently the doctor आले होते त्यांच्याशी बोलणं झालं, and I did follow up with them 2-3 times. Okay, but then he was busy with their own conference and all this. The point is, okay, yeah, we are taking some efforts, okay, but is there a real interest from the other side of it? Seriously, about it.
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so we should think about that. Okay, we are ready to help them. Okay, definitely.
Yes.
पण त्याला पाहिजे तसा रिस्पॉन्स मिळाला नाही. ओके, तो एक पॉईंट. दुसरा पॉईंट जो अभिजितने आणि तुम्ही मांडला, राईट, अबाउट द ट्रेनिंग अँड ऑल दिस थिंग. आय थिंक व्हॉट वी शुड डू इज वी शुड डू बोथ. ओके, अभिजितने, खालीलकरने किंवा ठोसरने कोर्स त्यांच्या ह्याच्यात हे डेफिनेटली वी शुड प्रमोट दॅट इन गर्जे मराठी टू बेनिफिट द गर्जे मराठी कम्युनिटी, डेफिनेटली. ओके, here as well as in India. Okay. At the same time, I also liked your thought about having the session in library. Okay. फक्त त्याची फ्रिक्वेन्सी ती कमी करायला लागेल. Okay. We can't have it every week. Okay. I mean, it's logistically, it's very, very difficult. Okay. And at least once in a month, okay, or at least once in a quarter, okay, we should have good free session, okay, to all Garje Marathi members, okay, on any topic. Okay, it could be anything, okay, which is beneficial. It should not be only purely entrepreneurship focused. It could be technology focused. It could be finance focused. It could be any other topic. Okay, now right now India Pakistan war is going. Okay, yeah, it can.
What's going?
Yeah, exactly. So
Okay.
it should be combination of both. Okay,
Yeah.
if you do that, then we will have continuous engagement of our people. Okay, असं 6 महिने 4 महिने असं गॅप पडू द्या. Okay, yeah, even if you do it at every quarterly, okay, and that is kind of okay, that informative session plus our informal Garje Marathi meeting as well. Okay, so that we know what is coming next, what is coming next.
Perfect. So me,
can I share one comment, Anandji? Just
yeah,
one
Abhijit Kadilkar. We
small
had
thing.
good meeting yesterday. Yeah, please carry on.
Yeah. So I agree with Sanjay ji. Both the Sanjays, more Abhijits. Umesh also made a very good point. So let me just add one sub bullet to what everybody is saying. Okay, maybe 2 sub bullets. One is, I think the question for Garje Marathi is usually answered in more yeses than no's, in the sense ki आपल्याला entrepreneurs ना मदत करायची आहे? Yes. Do we want to help corporate leaders? Yes. Do we want to help early in career people? The answer is yes. By the way, somebody's typing, so I cannot. There's some background noise.
Yeah, I'm just typing.
Okay.
Yeah,
Sorry.
done.
Okay. So I think the answer for us, की आपण जेव्हा आपली स्ट्रॅटेजी बनवतो किंवा विचार करतो आपण पुढे काय करणार आहोत, आपला रोड मॅप काय आहे, किंवा हे जे प्रोजेक्ट्स आहेत, whether we want to take advantage of all the agreements we've had with universities, or we want to do more startup mentoring, or we want to do leadership, or we want to create an academy, all of those roadmaps, the answer is yes. The things we say usually no to is सांस्कृतिक कार्यक्रम, गाणी वगैरे, त्या ज्या गोष्टी आहेत, we generally are like, okay, this is not a cultural group. So generally our charter is very good. People are very interested in this charter. Whenever we speak with people at events. There is a great enthusiasm. How do we convert that into actual forward momentum for the community? That is always a question. आणि त्याच्यामध्ये मला वाटतं की maybe we need to improve our electronic communication and electronic platform. Yes, we should do in-person events. Yes, we should do the library event, etc. पण मला असं वाटतं की आता we are one of the things that holds us back a little bit is our electronic communication. We have WhatsApp groups, but we have reached limits on those WhatsApp groups. We cannot add more people. Okay. For example, the other day we wanted to add more people for East Bay and for Bay Area. People cannot get added. So there is probably hundreds of people who want to be part of Garje Marathi, but they cannot be added just because they cannot be added to a WhatsApp group. So that's one. Ki आपल्याला आपला जो प्लॅटफॉर्म आहे इट हॅज टू बी एक्स्ट्रीमली फ्रिक्शनलेस आणि इथे खूप एक्सपर्ट्स आहेत हु नो हाऊ टू बिल्ड ऍप्स अँड हाऊ टू इम्प्रूव्ह ऍप्स अँड हॅव अ ग्रेट डिझाईन अँड थिंग्स लाईक दॅट बट आय थिंक इफ वी कॅन रिमूव्ह फ्रिक्शन ऑफ सेइंग आता समजा उद्या एका माणसाला किंवा बाईला कंट्रीब्यूट करायचं आहे ॲज अ मेंटोर वेअर डू दे साइन अप राईट which app which group do they join how does that work like what is the workflow for them to say I want to be a mentor to let's say early in career people and what is the system for that takes them to those people to mentor them right so they je ahe if it's made easy there will be more people who will jump in and do mentoring more people will help each other but currently I think one of the things even for me to answer ki are who is teaching AI in Garje Marathi maybe I'll ask them to join the my group for example but I think again we need to define those workflows आता आपल्याला बरंच friction आहे to get people are interested but there is friction to get people involved in those activities whether to learn or to teach sorry to take that much time back to you
Okay, thank you. Where it is wrong on my part that I scheduled meeting after meeting. In another 6 minute time बोर्डाची मीटिंग आहे बट आय विल जस्ट ट्राय टू समराईज मला जे पाहिजे की आपण नेक्स्ट मीटिंग कधी करायची ते आपण ठरवूया आपण बे एरियामध्ये कुठला कोर ग्रुप हे जे आता आपण डिस्कस केलं ते सगळं करायला तयार आहे मी म्हणजे अभिजित किंवा संजयजींबरोबर डिस्कस करून काहीतरी फॉर्म बनवतो की जिथे पीपल विल शो रेडीनेस तो एक कोर ग्रुप बनवूया त्याच्यानंतर आपल्याला स्टुडंटसाठी किंवा जो जे करायचं आहे कारण का स्टुडंट इज समथिंग फार डेस्परेट गरज आहे त्यासाठी आपण करूया लोकल कम्युनिटीसाठी आपण जो स्टेम मध्ये काहीतरी करायचा विचार करतोय ते करता येईल तुम्ही जे सांगितलं त्याप्रमाणे एमओयूज वरती ऍक्शन घेणं हे गरजे मराठी ग्लोबलचं काम आहे पण वेरॅज बे एरिया असो कनेक्टेड बे एरियासाठी आपल्याला काय ऍक्शन करायची की बे एरिया रिमेन्स लाईव्हली बे एरियाचं वी लीड बाय एक्झाम्पल ह्यासाठी आय थिंक वी नीड अ ग्रुप ऑफ पीपल 5, 6, 7 जण जे तयार येतील की जे ते हे लीड करतील आणि मे बी पुढल्या मीटिंग सुद्धा ते लीड करतील रादर दॅन गर्जे मराठी इज बोर्ड डुईंग दॅट सो ही एक इंडिपेंडंट सेंटर ऑफ एक्सलन्स व्हावं अशी माझी अपेक्षा आहे आणि दॅट इज व्हॉट वी कॅन टेल पीपल की आपण 7 डिसेंबरचा प्रोग्राम केला तो किती सुंदर झाला सो तशा जर ऍक्शन करण्यासाठी जर आपण गर्जे मराठी बे एरिया चा जर सेंटर ऑफ एक्सलन्स बनवून त्याच्यासाठी लीडर्स जर बनवले तर ते महत्वाचं आहे आय कॅन सी वी आर 15-16 पीपल हिअर राईट नाव सो दॅट इट सेल्फ कॅन बिकम अ कोर ग्रुप आणि वी कॅन आस्क समबडी इफ समबडी हॅज मिस टुडे बट वॉन्ट्स टू टेक अ लीड अँड वॉन्ट्स टू जॉईन सो दॅट विल बी अवर नेक्स्ट ऍक्शन टीम बनवणं गरजेचं आहे नंतर एक थॉट मध्ये लोकांनी दिला होता की आपण घरचे मराठीचा इंटरनेट रेडिओ चालू करायचा का जस्ट पासिंग थॉट म्हणजे बे एरियामध्ये इतरांचा जसा असतो तसं काही करता येईल का आणि आपलं ऍप अतिशय चांगलं आहे सो ह्या ऍपसाठी ऍज वेल एज गौरवसाठी बे एरियामधनं दर 8 महिन्याला आपल्याला काहीतरी इनपुट्स द्यावे लागतील सो ते एक फार महत्वाचं आहे की दॅट शोज द लाईव्हलीनेस ऑफ द बे एरिया चॅप्टर सो हे माझं कन्क्लुजन आहे आपण जर सगळे तयार असतील तर लेटस कन्सिडर की ही 15 लोक बारिंग मी आणि संजय आम्ही कोण भंडारी राहून बाकीची जी 12-13 लोक आहेत कॅन यू सॉर्ट ऑफ अ फॉर्म अ कन्सोर्टियम और अ ग्रुप ऑफ अ लीडर्स सो दॅट बे एरियाच्या ज्या काय ऍक्टिव्हिटीज असतील त्या तुम्ही डिसाईड कराल म्हणजे आता ईस्ट बे वरनं आता फक्त अभिजित खाडेकर आहे, पण अंजली गांधी आय एम शुअर शी इज रेडी. अनिता कांत कॅनॉट जॉईन बिकॉज शी इज ऑन अ बोर्ड ऑफ गर्जे मराठी. आणि मग हे आपण इंडिपेंडंट करूया का, हे मला म्हणायचंय. मी एक अकॅडमीचं डॉक्युमेंट टाकलंय, ते जस्ट स्टडी करा. इट इज जस्ट अ थॉट, इट इज नॉट एक्झॅक्टली समथिंग फायनलाइज. सो इज दॅट ओके? मीन्स कन्क्लुजन मी केलं, त्यात काही राहिलेत का पॉइंट्स?
Can I
Yeah,
very
Sriharsha, go
quickly?
ahead.
So,
Yeah.
Anand, Sanjay, Bhandari, and Anand, right? I agree. I think my suggestion is right now we don't need you to
Exactly.
take the next steps.
Absolutely.
Number one, right? So let me and everyone else in this, apart from you and Sanjay Bhandari, let us take some next steps without you, and we will come back in say a couple of weeks. We will work offline, online, and we'll come back with my focus will be, I think our focus will be on Bay Area, and then some of the things that we may discuss can be scaled up, right, at by chapter or at a global level. But I think we need to take that ownership. I completely agree with that. And
Exactly.
then we can come back to you, and then you can help us connect, saying, hey, these are the things. I want to kind of go back to that MOU part. I agree. I think that's a miss from my part as well, right? I have not really paid attention. So we need to figure out, good point, Sanjay Wadge, that we need to figure out what they need, and there should be a need rather than there should be both push and pull for that model to work, right? Those MOUs to really deliver some value. So I agree with that. Abhijit, Rupali, Neha,
Yeah, you know
she,
people.
all of that, let's work offline. Let's create a separate document. Just identify 2, 3 things. Abhijit and Rupali and Sanjay and few others here locally. I was immediately thinking, if we do quarterly planning, right? Let's look at a quarter sprint. Summary yeto hai. Last, I want to make one observation, right? Last अपनी पिकनिक झाली. I was so surprised to see the next generation, right?
Yes.
Met Neha's son, I met Sanjay, your kids. I think there is, and I met Sadunke's son and his daughter. So I was very surprised. I had a lot of interaction with those kids. Summer yeto hai, we can plan some summer months. Most of our kids will be here. We have the library. Maybe we can have, every Saturday we can have 2-4 hour workshop with these people, right? That's way we can be a little bit more proactive and do some seasonal stuff here.
Yeah. So can we sign off?
Yeah.
Sriharsha, तुला काहीतरी बोलायचंय? We have to sign off. I'm sorry, but you can say. You can go ahead.
Yeah. Just one quick thing is like we should craft a vision for next 10 years. And that could be global as well as local. But unless we do that, we will not have a long-term plan. And then we align towards that. But I can talk a little bit later, Abhijit.
Now,
We can talk.
apart from me, Sanjay Bhandari and other people, you people are going to take it over. We are not going to be part of this. It is your ownership now. Is that okay?
Sure.
Can I sign off? I'm so sorry. My apologies.
No worries. This is good. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye.
Thanks.
Bye, guys.
Bye.